Okay. Well, it's about time I come back. And, yes, it's me, Spike. It's been a long time since I last, talked to y'all about, well, any creature whatsoever. And especially because the last creature I remember leaving off on was a particularly nasty creature, that hybrid, but then I remembered, oh yeah, those elementals, those dragomentals, those things. Real ugly ones. Well, not really real ugly, but nonetheless real friendly things. But anyways, sorry. Yeah. These creatures I want to talk about today are, how do you say, elemental golems. I know my sons have decided to take those up, but I decided to go over these for today, mainly because they are going to deal with some things, especially going after a particularly nasty creature. Well, not really a particularly nasty one, more or less just trying to comprehend and translate a book I gave them. That thing was pretty old, too. Pretty ancient relic, if I say so myself. But anything, sorry. First one is the Elemental Golem hybrid of the, well, known as Grounded Crystal Weapon Shield Elemental Golem, or Grounded Shield Elemental Golem. Like the name suggests, it's a mix between the Grounded Shield and the Shield Golem. This thing has a crystal on one arm that actually has some crystal metal on it. These things stand a staggering, get this, 8 feet tall, and only weigh approximately, funny enough, only half a ton. Usually these things would weigh closer to a few tons. So, yeah. But also, these things are able to go to, quite literally, berserk, like their counterparts of them. And also their crystal on their arm, that's one arm, can literally absorb anything and then use it as a weapon. Well, could also make shields out of it, but I've seen people, harvest the crystals from dead ones, or grab the crystals that were shedded from these creatures. Matter of fact, I remember one giving shield to one, and then proceed to immediately regrow it. Yeah, this world is freaking weird. But trust me, if you can make a shield out of one of these crystals, motherfucker, are they powerful. But trust me, these are one of the creatures I am happy that I created. But I was quite a loner. So, let's get to the next one. Well, anyways, this next one is, Ice Steel Crystal Weapon Sword Knight Elemental Golem, or Ice Steel, or ISS Elemental Golem. Trust me when I say that these aren't quite interesting, especially because they are more like knights than anything else. Now, they get their knight bit because of the armor design I put onto these things, and also because of the ice steel they have. Ice steel is a very rare occurrence. Ice steel is created by, when ice and steel steel has been frozen in ice for so long, it literally starts and then exposed to higher radiations of magic. It literally fuses with the ice to create ice steel. It can freeze almost anything it comes in contact with. Yes, that's including fire. It can freeze bloody fire easily. And it can also, and if you put it correctly, you can actually make a weapon out of it that can absorb some attacks and turn them into sword-based attacks. Trust me when I say that it is bloody powerful, not to mention bloody terrifying in the wrong hands. I'm lucky these things are quite friendly to the first one. Now, when I say there's a great power margin, between these final three, including this one, and the first one, I freaking mean it. It's like comparing, it's like comparing a D-rank adventurer to a true demon lord levels of power. Yes, I like that anime, so what? Especially because my son actually bloody created a forest and created dragons and other creatures to inhabit that forest based off of Tensura. And believe me, the alternate universe in this world, in this universe, is no laughing matter either. Especially of how dangerous that it can be. So, trust me when I say, you mess with those creatures, or this creature, funny enough, sometimes these creatures actually do travel into the forest, but very rarely. This one is more or less in there to help sharpen its sword at times, because the blade can get dull, only on very rare occurrences though. But anyways, let's get to the next one. Now for the third one, it is quite a lot less powerful, but still on par with the second one of today. Known as the Air Archer Elemental Golem, or Archer Elemental Golem. Yeah, not very complicated names for this one. You can already guess, the Archer Elemental is one of its parents, and the Archer Golem is the other one. So, Bow Golem was it? I can't quite remember. Pretty much think of a Golem's head, body, waist, legs, and two lower arms minus the claws were held together by wind, and it had an arrow in one arm, in one hand, and a bow in the other, made of air as well. You get what the thing is made out of. And then add aggression, add some pride into it. That's what you get at for this one. Now, trust me when I say, this one was not my best creation. I was bored that day, and, I just threw together some air and, golem energies and created this thing. Nothing really major, except for the fact I gave, like all the other ones of this one, the ability to absorb some attacks and turn them into bow, arrow, based abilities, like a thunder arrow or something like that. But it's mostly adapted into air-based attacks. Like, let's say it absorbs some type of lightning-based attack. The arrow would be going so fast, it would eventually form into lightning, but due to the air pressure change and speed of it, it would, when it hits, the gust would hit them first, for some reason, and followed by the scorching of the lightning. So, yeah. Weird magic, okay? Don't sue me. I don't really understand how that works. It's just how the energies is laid out, okay? Compared to the former Overseer, I am quite a noob. And I've only been in place for, 1 million years? The last guy was in place for how long? 65 million years? Don't even ask how that worked. He was practically... Think of a, god who practically just got bored of humans and tried to wipe them all out. Like that, god from that Popcross multiverse. Oh, that guy's a huge pain. Well, the Overseers in this universe, or multiverse, are a whole lot more powerful. Like, take a base one in there and just quintuple its power to the power 500. That's compared to how strong, but anyways, let's go to the next one. Okay, now for the final one of today. My least favorite. I, again, have no clue why I made this one, other than for craps and giggles. The Flame Spear Crystal Weapon Elemental Golem, or the Flame Spear Elemental Golem. This one's flames are a whole lot more chaotic than any other elemental golems, due to the fact that this one was more recently created. This thing is, well, its bottom legs are made up of fire elemental legs, and the spear on that one arm is actually made of a combination of both its parents and some of its own energy layout. Like all the other ones, it can absorb attacks and spit them out as its own base attacks. It can also add them to its own arsenal. This one's maybe second strongest, but they are stupidly easy to mind control. Like, literally, so stupidly easy to. The human elemental golem hybrid offspring of these things is quite intelligent, but nowhere as intelligent or as strong as the elemental golem of the first human offspring of the first ones. Now, these are quite rare, maybe like 4 every single time these things die, but they could be multiple offsprings at a time. 4 is just usually the base number, due to the reason why they're so rare is because all of these elemental golems are so rare, because their powers are quite under specific conditions. And also, there's only a handful of these elemental golems around. Due to their power levels, they are quite often hunted. But due to me being an overseer, more like godlike demost, I've been able to protect some of these creatures. And as much as I dislike them, I can't let all these things go to become extinct. Hence the reason why I try my best to protect them. But back to this one's power level. Like I said, second strongest, and complete idiot and easy to mind control. Like this one time it got mind controlled by a weak as frick mind control specialist. They were more or less just able to mind control small creatures, gain a power level up to unpowerful enough to mind control this creature. And a mind controlled one of these things is very, very dangerous depending on how bad the person is. And luckily for me, this guy was pretty weak, so I could just simply send my sons in, but they've already caught wind, and before I could tell them, they've already dealt with both the wizard and the guy and the creature. The thing was already evil enough, so they just killed it outright. And I could care less. Well, that's all for today.